Well, for those of you that missed the Tree Care in Oklahoma workshop, we've got a treat because we're going to get to see a lot of the stuff that people that attended the workshop. And one of the first people that we're visiting with is Richard Keathly. And Richard is the owner and operator of Keathly Nursery and Landscape in Ponca City. And Richard, thank you for sharing some time with us.
Glad to be here.
So, now, you basically were telling about the operation of a tree spade, and right behind us here we have got one huge tree spade. Maybe the viewers would kind of like to know a little bit about what they see here.
Okay, this is an 84-inch Vermeer tree spade that will move trees up to 8 to 10-inch trunk caliper. It's a hydraulically screw-driven machine that can dig in very tight, tough soil. We first have dug the hole here and we're ready to put the tree in now, and we'll show you how to do that here in a minute.
Okay. Now these are actually the blades that go down into the soil then?
Yes,
That's
we
fine.
Push the blades into the soil one at a time, and we had a little trouble on the second tree we did today and didn't have much luck with it, but we did move a tree larger than this and did fine with that.
Okay. Now as you're talking about the size of tree spade, if someone's thinking about having a tree moved, how should they decide what size of tree to move and what size of tree spade should do that?
Okay. Well, it depends on the variety of the tree. A general rule is 10 inches of root ball per inch of trunk diameter.
Okay.
For example, a 4-inch tree would require at least a 40-inch tree spade.
Okay. And in operation, you wouldn't want to go over that, but you could maybe move a little bit smaller tree with a larger spade.
Sure. I mean, this tree moving a 4-inch tree is great because there's much less stress on the tree.
Right. So now, are there some cases that using a tree spade works better than others? Have you noticed that?
Depending on the soil and the type of tree, yes. I have a real good feel of what tree will move successfully.
Right.
Most people want to push the limit and try to do too big of a tree, and then the tree may stress and not take off like it should.
So you would actually recommend, if someone wanted to do this, to come in and visit with you and kind of see if what they're thinking of is really going to work.
That's true. We've been to sites before when we just can't do the tree. It's too big and we just don't want to risk it.
So, okay. Now, are there any preparations for the planting area that you have to do ahead of time?
Yes, depending on if it's a really nice yard. This is a heavy machine, 46,000 pounds,
Right.
so we may rut. We need to make sure the ground is dry. Sidewalks can be a problem. We may need to prepare planking to drive over them. The main thing is to call Okie and check out utility lines because it can be dangerous anytime you dig underground.
Yeah, that's just important no matter where or when you dig. You should
believe
always
it's a
do
state
that.
law.
So, well, good. Now, once you've done the process, are there some things that people need to do to ensure that this will be a successful move of a tree?
Right. It's real similar to planting a small tree. It needs aftercare, of course, for the first year or two. We generally recommend in the summer to water every 4 to 6 days. We mulch the trees and recommend regularly fertilizing of the tree.
Okay. Now, is there a time of year that moving a tree with a tree spade works better than others? Or?
The fall, as in any tree planting, is the best time, but we do transplant trees through the summer. In some cases, construction is going to destroy the tree, so it becomes necessary. And we've had good luck. We usually reduce the size of the tree and try not to dig as big a trees that time of year, but we've had pretty good luck all year round.
Well, great. Well, that's something that you brought up. You know, not only can you get a larger tree, but if you've got a tree that's going to be ruined because of construction, it might be a thought to get a tree spade and move it somewhere where it won't be disturbed.
That's true, and you can gain 10 or 15 years of growth by purchasing a large tree and bringing it into your lot instead of waiting.
Great. Well, we really appreciate this, and we're going to see how this operates, and we appreciate you explaining the process to us. Thank you.
Thank you.
We hope you've enjoyed this classic from the Oklahoma Gardening Vault. Remember, even though these tips and techniques are timeless, there's always something new to learn in the world of gardening. By subscribing to both Oklahoma Gardening and OK Gardening Classics, you'll have access to a wealth of gardening knowledge, both classic and contemporary.